Something called us from the Appalachian woods, and whenever it was, it followed us back to the cabin. Hi, I'm Nicole, and this is Haunted Threads After Dark, where I read you scary, spooky paranormal stories. If that's your thing, then turn up the volume, turn down the lights, and whatever you do, don't look behind you. I'm posting this because I still haven't told anyone outside my family the full version of what happened, and it's been eating at me. Last fall, my family rented a cabin out in the Appalachians in Virginia, way off the grid. I was 18. The first day there, my younger brother and I found a trail behind the property and decided to hike it before dinner. About 40 minutes in, everything was fine. Good weather, decent view, birds going nonstop. Then the birds just cut out, like someone hit mute on the whole mountain. Our footsteps got weirdly loud in the silence, the kind of loud that makes you start walking on your toes without even realizing it. Then from somewhere in the trees ahead of us, a woman's voice said one word, "Hey." Then it said it again and again, 5 times, maybe 6, and every single repetition was identical. Same inflection, same little rasp at the end, like a voicemail stuck on a loop. My brother took a step toward the tree line to check it out, and I don't know what came over me, but I grabbed his sleeve and said, "We're leaving now." What do you mean you don't know what came over you? Fear? Self-preservation? Those things are normal, especially with that sound. No, thank you. We didn't run, but we walked fast, and neither of us looked back the whole way down. At the cabin, we told our parents. They said it was probably another hiker messing around. Except there was nothing around for miles, no other rentals, no trailhead parking except ours. We asked to cut the trip short. They laughed it off and said we're being dramatic. That night, I couldn't sleep. My room had a window facing straight into the tree line, and I'd left the blinds open out of habit. Around midnight, something tapped the glass. 4 slow, deliberate taps, like knuckles. I froze. I couldn't make my body move for what felt like 2 hours. I just lay there listening to my own heartbeat. Eventually, I forced myself to look. There was something standing between 2 trees, maybe 30 feet back, tall, too tall. Its shoulders were too wide to be human, but it was standing the way a person stands, and it had eyes. I could see them catch what little light there was. Low, unblinking, fixed on my window like it had been waiting for me to look. I grabbed my phone to film it, but the camera wouldn't focus. It kept going back and forth like there was nothing for it to lock onto. When I lowered the phone and looked with my own eyes, it had tilted its head slowly. That's terrifying. Like it noticed I was trying to record it and wanted me to know. Then it stepped behind the tree and never came back out. The next morning, I told my parents everything. I begged them to leave. They still didn't believe me. They said no. The second night, I made sure the blinds were shut before I even got into bed. I still couldn't sleep. Right around the same time as the night before, I heard it right outside my window, way closer than the tree line should have allowed. "Hey," just once, right up against the glass, like it was speaking directly into the room. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I stared at the blinds, waiting for another tap, another word, anything. Nothing came. Eventually, the silence became worse than the fear, so I got up and cracked the blinds open, just enough to peek outside. There was a handprint on the glass, right at eye level, exactly where I'd been looking out the night before. It was too big to be my brother's, too big to be my dad's. The fingers were impossibly long, spread wide, like whatever left it had pressed against the window for a long time, watching. I never touched the glass. I never opened the blinds any farther. I climbed back into bed and didn't sleep for the rest of the night. The next morning, I showed my parents before anyone could wipe the window down. Even they went quiet for a second. But by that afternoon, they were right back to saying it must have been a bear. Bear? What? Or maybe my brother messing with me. Anything except the obvious. We stayed 2 more nights. Nothing else happened. No sounds, no figures, no more handprints. But it didn't feel like relief. It felt like whatever it was had already gotten what it came for and moved on to somebody else's window. I still sleep with my blinds shut now, mountains or not. If you're ever renting a cabin out in the Appalachians, close your curtains before dark. You don't want to find out what's close enough to touch the glass. Now, I'll say this, I always sleep with my curtains closed and blinds because, it's not just I don't want anything looking in, because I definitely don't want that, but I can't sleep if the sun comes up. I'm not wanting to be awake at 6 a.m. unless I have to. So why wouldn't you have blinds? That's just normal. I mean, for me at least, again, don't want anyone looking in, first of all, because that's just terrifying. You feel like you're in a fishbowl and everyone can see you. I don't know why you'd want that. But then the sun, But anyway, back to the scary story. What do you guys think about that? What do you think it was? I don't know what it was. I think it was a pretty creepy story. I wouldn't want it to happen to me. This is the number one reason I don't go camping and I don't go into the woods, because they're scary. And I live in Colorado, so there are woods and stuff out there. The mountains, I like to drive through the mountains, but I don't want to stay and camp out there because, bears, just for one thing, and mountain lions, and then these things. So, anywho, if you guys have a story that you would like me to read, then go ahead and submit it at hauntedthreadsafterdark.com, and I will read it on the story or on the channel here. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I've had a long day. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day, and until tomorrow when I bring you more nightmares, I hope that you sleep tight. If you can. Goodbye.